So good morning, well, good afternoon, everyone. To start with, because we probably have people here in three different time zones. People from Greece and Cyprus will probably be in, it's already 1:42, more or less, 42 past 1. And Central Europe time, it's 42 past noon, and in Portugal it's 42 past 11. So this is also one of the things that will happen during our event on Tuesday. So bear in mind a little bit that as well. The main purpose for us to have this meeting today, and I really thank you for joining in such a short notice. It's really promising to have it in a much better time in the future, in future editions, but this time it was what was possible. But the main purpose is to try to clarify what we intend by organizing this event to start with. What are our expectations from all the parties in this event. So, of course, you expect to find the suitable candidates, the suitable applicants. But you must also bear in mind that we are quite a lot in the event. So this is also why it is important that you have your own expectations, but you also have to understand that both the job seekers and ourselves as organizers also have some expectations, and this is what we would also like to share with you, because of course this is a free of charge event. We all know that, and we are really very happy to organize this event for you. But on the other hand, the job seekers on the other side of the road may want to have a little bit more information on what you are offering, and so we will try to make it clear to you. So our agenda for this hour, hopefully 1 hour, is this one. Okay, just very quickly, if we're sharing it. Okay. Can you see the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so basically, it's a very small introduction to what our event is all about. What somehow we expect from you. The European Job Days platform, how you can make the best use of it. And probably you got a newsletter yesterday, and you'll probably get one more in a couple of days, aimed at helping you prepare for the event. So we will go through all of the steps that you have to give in order to make the best of your participation. And of course, the main topic, I would say, is having your questions answered, the main difficulties you are having. But probably, as we have some demo for the platform, some of these questions will be answered by themselves. Okay. With me, I have quite a few colleagues from our organization. So as you know, or if you don't know, you will. We are organizing this event on behalf of 9 countries, 9 Southern Europe countries. So Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, Malta, Slovenia, and Croatia. All of us in the south of Europe, and with some connection to the Mediterranean. Only Portugal isn't really in the Mediterranean, but this event is organized already for 5 years now. We had a break last year, I believe, due to obvious reasons, because it was a really difficult year for the tourism sector, as you are well aware of it. much better than us. So we decided to go back with the event this year. We had a history, a record of having a very good participation by employers from all of these countries. But this year it's really, it has grown. I believe all of you are willing to, are hoping to be able to recover a little. Let's see what awaits us as well, because the situation is very uncertain at the moment, as you know. But we really wanted to give you this opportunity to meet job seekers interested in having an experience in this tourism sector, eventually moving to another country. Of course, it doesn't. It is not mandatory that it is that way, but the main purpose of these events within EURES are to promote mobility. And as I was saying, I'm having colleagues here from Spain, Greece, France, I think, Italy, and I guess from Portugal, definitely. And if I'm forgetting some country, from Slovenia, you have several people who may as well answer some of your questions. So what I would suggest you to do is, while we are trying to introduce presentation, I will kind of demo, so I won't be able to check on the chat, but my colleagues will be there. And of course, if there is any question that might be better answered by showing it to you, I will ask my colleagues to share it with me as well. Okay. And most of all, apologies for all of this mess in the very beginning, but it was really a technical issue. It's better not to get into details about it, otherwise we will lose our time. So thank you for joining this link now. So I will stop sharing for a moment and share again my screen. And I will show you a little the platform. So what is this Seize the Summer event all about? Can you see my screen? The platform? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So Seize the Summer is an event aimed at matching employers, so your recruitment needs from employers in all of these 9 countries I mentioned before, with job seekers from all over Europe. Okay. European Union and as well, so those countries, European Union, the 27 countries of the European Union, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. These are the countries which are integrating the EURES network, which is the network promoting these European Job Days events. But basically, we really want to serve our countries, and this is why we have organized this event. So you can find here in the very beginning a very brief description on what each of your profiles can expect. And as you can see, we are very clear about the countries from which we will accept employers in this event. So here they are. We have at the moment, so that you have an idea, at the moment we are having nearly 180 exhibitors registering, approved already. As you can see, nearly, so 167 are employers, just like you, so companies. We also have representatives of these 9 countries, and they will be basically my colleagues who are here as well on the chat, and a few others who are not here with us today. So we will have exhibitors in the platform who are representing each and every of these companies, and we will countries, and we will be providing information to job seekers as well about what expects them if they wish to move to Croatia, to Cyprus, to France, to Italy. So living and working information, how they can find a job, practical information on how to find accommodation, how to find all of these things, okay? So on the day, we will be online, and we would also expect you to be online if possible, providing information to these job seekers. And of course, this will be an opportunity as well on the day for you to get in touch with job seekers directly. At the moment, so that you have an idea as well, we already have nearly 400 jobs available. This seems a small number, but this means for each of these jobs, as you know, there may be a lot of vacant positions. And at the moment, this number is not showing up in here, but we have well over 4,300 opportunities for job seekers. And this is coming from you, okay? So these are your vacancies. And what will happen up until the event day is that job seekers will apply to these jobs. You can invite them for interviews, either on the day of the event or in one of the following days. So you will have an interviewing period, which is going from the 22nd to the 26th in this platform. Even after that, if you are not using the interview scheduling from the platform, you can get in touch with these job seekers, of course, and set up interviews in other solutions. But in any case, we wanted to provide you with the possibility to contact these job seekers from this particular event during this period. Another thing which will happen on the day is that we will be having a small, well, not so small program. Since it would be very difficult for us to give you an opportunity for all of you to have a presentation in this event, because it's really a huge number of exhibitors, what we have decided to do was to focus on living and working presentation in these 9 countries. And for each of you as an exhibitor, you have the possibility in your company profile, in your stand, let's say, to have a video where you can provide a little bit more information about the company. I'm not sure whether everyone is fluent with English, those who have joined. I believe we also have some people speaking French in the chat, so if there are any questions or Spanish, if you have any difficulties, please also ask us or let us know in the chat, and we will try to go a little bit slowly or slower, or try to answer your questions, basically. So this is something I wanted to tell you in terms of the state of play of the event. In terms of job seekers registered, just for you to have an idea, at the moment, we are really now pushing much harder for the promotion, but we are having a little bit more than 800 job seekers registered. And I'm telling you this not to frighten you. Well, it's not such a big number, it's true. But you are aware, I believe, in your efforts for recruitment nowadays, that probably the trends have evolved also with the pandemics, and now with the situation that we're facing right now, the critical situation we're facing, and people are a bit afraid as well, a little bit more afraid of a lot of things. And this is why it is very, very important that you know how to sell yourselves, let's say. And this is the main point we would like to emphasize now in the next few slides. So in terms of expectations, what do we or what do you expect from this event? Maybe I could ask you, some of you, what do you expect? I suppose you expect to find relevant candidates. What we would and what job seekers would expect from you, we believe, is that you provide them with relevant information for them to decide, because they have plenty of companies to choose from. So it's very important that you pass on the information that you want job seekers to know about your company and what you are offering in your company profile, and we'll take a look at it, how to improve it. And this is why also every time you can have it, it's highly recommended that you add a video to your company profile, because this is also a much more dynamic way for you to get introduced, even if you don't have, let's say, a more institutional video. You know, there's always a way to introduce a company. Well, nowadays we even can record a small video with your mobile. And we're talking about many of these people are young people, so they wouldn't mind to have a short overview of the place where they would be working, a short introduction, a little bit more informal, recorded by a video. It's also a possible way of introducing yourselves. Of course, for those who have the means to have a more professional video, even better. But this is really something we think you should invest on, having a company profile which is appealing to job seekers. And then, of course, job offers. Without job offers in the platform, the use that you can take out of this event is almost null, because this is not aimed. This is an event. This is not exactly a data bank only, or a phone list, let's say. This is really an event where we hope things to happen, and job seekers will expect to see information about the job offers, not only what you require from them, but also what you can offer them in return. Even if it's basic information, but for instance, we're talking about hotels, restaurants, whether they will be able to count on meals while they are in your premises, whether you can help them in finding accommodation, or whether you can provide them with accommodation. Of course, if possible as well, a range of salaries that they could expect. This would be the best option to also provide them with that information. Of course, you can provide it in the contact that you have with them. And this leads me to the second part. These two are very important: company profile, posting of job offers. But if you can be available on the day, even if it's only for 1 or 2 hours, and meet job seekers and be available for them, it will also make all of the difference. Because if you're only a page in a website, the chance of being contacted even after the event is not the same as if you are there active, trying to promote yourself. And in this, so we have two possibilities for you to contact job seekers. You have those job seekers who have applied to your jobs. And this is why it is so important that you post your job offers as soon as possible, so that they can apply before the event as well. And with these job seekers, you can, if the profile is interesting for you, you can invite them for online recruitment interviews between the 22nd and the 26th of March. For those who haven't applied, but they are curious about your company, they would like to know what you are looking for, what you have on offer. We also have the possibility for you to have a spontaneous contact with them on the day. This works like when you're in a job fair, an on-site job fair, physical one. It's an approach to a stand, basically. So if you're there, you will be there. Sometimes you think it's not such a good investment to be there for a while, but sometimes you have some very nice surprises because there are job seekers coming up which are really a very good profile and they hadn't applied to you before. So this is what we would expect from you, and we believe as well, job seekers, it's the minimum commitment we would expect from you. So next step would be to go through the platform and show you how you can make the best use out of this platform. Do we already have any questions which are possible to be answered, or no, not yet? I think it's the practical things that let me just ask you one question. I heard about Pascale, but is there anyone here who is not sure of being registered in the event? Pascale, which company do you represent?
Well, I'm in 2 different registration from Equipe Creative Agency and Around the Sport. I'm in charge of a different process here about human resources in Romagna for different hotels and activities. So I made like 2 to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Italy.
Sabina,
Yes.
maybe you can.
Well, may I ask you if I understood good? There are like 800 people who are the job
more.
seekers.
Yeah.
Job seekers, 800 job seekers. They can register.
They have registered already. Yeah.
Yes, already registered, but we expect to have more job seekers.
Yeah, we are promoting.
Too.
Yeah.
No. So it's a good number for us at the moment.
Because it's still usually we will have lots of registrations in the very last days, and of course it is much easier for us to promote as well if the job vacancies are registered in the platform, because the more opportunities they see, the more interesting it becomes for them to join, right? So this is also why we insist a little with you on the registration of jobs as soon as possible. So I would share the platform with you now, and I will go through your company profile. Can you see my screen? I don't think so.
No.
So through your company profile, how to launch a job vacancy, how you can make the best out of your, so how can you check on the applicants and invite someone for an interview. You probably, some of you may be a bit upset with the platform because you're getting a lot of notification. We can also minimize this by managing the notifications. So this is something we can show you how to do. And the possibility of being online on the day, how does it work? So when we talk about 101 contacts, it's individual contacts with job seekers, and the importance that you provide us with feedback by the end of the event as well. So I would like to show you in the platform how you can improve your profile. Let's just take a look at this section of the Browse Exhibitors. As you can see already, starting from here, you can see that there are plenty of companies who are not showing up with a logo. And I apologize for if I will use some name, it's really because it's the examples that we have, and it's easier for us to exemplify how things should be should be done, but don't take it as a specific criticism, because it's really in order for all of us to improve. For instance, you see here Club del Sole, and I don't know whether some representative from Club del Sole is here.
Yes, I think yes.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so we are targeting, you can see the profile. You have here a presentation in Italian. Actually, for us Portuguese, it's not such a big issue because we understand it. For Romanians, probably, and for Spanish, it's also easy to read. Yeah, facile. But if you think about having German-speaking or English-speaking or French-speaking, well, French, maybe they will understand, but probably it would be easier if you could have a brief introduction as well in English, because it will get to more people. So this is just a suggestion we give you, but I would really like to show you one which is even a bit more basic. So let me show you. I will use from, because what happens to most of you is that when you are registering, you don't know exactly what is expected from you. You are simply filling in a registration form. And one of the first thing that happens is that you have a tendency, for instance, to use the legal name of the company instead of the brand. Some of the companies are using even the SRLS, etc. Is this interesting for the employer, for the job seeker? Maybe he will relate more to the brand or to the name of the hotel, right? So one of the things we would suggest you, also because this is possible to be done after the first registration, is that you try to use the name by which you are well known in the market, if you are known, right? Let me see if I'm lucky now. Okay, this is one as well. Well, a few paragraphs, but many of you, and I will log in now as with a little bit more power, because well, I have this event organizer profile. But many of you, let me think about what to do. Okay, let me see. I will just try, because I know there are some here a little bit less complete at the moment, or maybe okay, company. Sorry for this. Okay, so for instance, let's go to this one, for instance. Okay, I'm not, well, basically you have here you already have it in English, but I will show you internally what you can improve. Okay, so this one already has a small description in English, but you could, this is how you can edit your company profile. Okay, this is the what you will be able to add. And in here you can see that you can add the logo. For those of you who haven't added the logo, it's very simple. You have to have an image file, so either a PNG or a JPEG or a GIF file, no bigger than 2 megabytes. You choose the file in your computer. You upload it, so you choose it. Let's imagine I'm now showing something which is tired rainy days. Okay, this one has less than. I promise I will not record it, and then I would upload it. Okay, so choosing the file and uploading it. It's as simple as that, and it will show up not a blank space, but your image, your brand, in the tab for the exhibitors. Then, of course, you have the sector, and many of you sometimes, since it's difficult for us to find here in this classification, sometimes it's difficult to find the right one. but you can eventually, because it's in English as well, but if you have trouble with that, please ask your EURES advisors, the people who are contacting you as well, to help you out characterizing a bit better. This is not the most important things, but you can do it. Then hot jobs would be a list of the profiles you're looking for the most. But I would not, for those of you who have one job vacancy, for instance, it doesn't make sense, of course, or one or two job vacancies. What makes sense is for you to really launch a job. And as you can see here in the contact details, you would be supposed to add a little bit more information than just a name. But of course, we understand, we may even prefer that you don't share an email here if you don't want to, but you can share some information about your location, you can repeat the website, even though you have a section where you can add the website, which is more dedicated. And as you can see here, for the website, what can you add in this section? You can add the link to your website, but you can as well add, for instance, your social media. So you can, for instance, have your website here if you have social media, website, Facebook, Instagram. And this is a way to provide more information to the job seekers on your company, and paste your URL for Facebook or for LinkedIn here. Please make sure when you paste the link here in the URL, do not forget to include the HTTP or HTTPS so that it becomes available as a hyperlink, so that it is clickable and people can watch. Then, if you have a video, you won't be uploading it in the platform, but if you have it available on a YouTube channel, let's imagine that the company does not have a YouTube channel on itself. It's always possible for you to upload a video, for instance, in a YouTube personal channel, and make it unlisted so that it's not so visible. And then if you paste the link to the video in here, as you can see, for instance, if we put it this way, it would show up embedded in your website, in your company profile. Alternatively, if you don't have a video, but you would like to give a pleasant image of your establishment, of your hotel, your restaurant, your accommodation, so the place that you have, for instance, in rural tourism, what you can do is to upload a picture. You may have a nice picture of the place, and you can upload it here. I don't advise you to have both, because it becomes overwhelming as well on the page. But at least a video or a picture would be really nice. Forget about the Skype ID; it's no longer needed for those who have participated in previous events. We are now having a chatting platform embedded in the platform, so you don't have to log in to another platform to talk to job seekers. Everything is happening here in your profile. Okay. And so this is how it would be filled in. This is the company profile, and I will show you only as an example, maybe a company that I know is more or less well characterized, which is participating already for some time now. So for instance, if you can see here, Sitel, for instance, you can see the company has the hot jobs is not filled in. They could, but they have decided not to fill in. They have a paragraph which is not that big, as you can see, in English. So everyone has access to the information about the company. They have a small video, which can be, you're not listening, but the job seekers will listen, because I'm not sharing the sound of my computer. And they also decided to have a picture, but I think this is too much maybe. In any case, they have a video, and here, after they have filled in those fields that you saw there, you can access them via their global website for Citel and their website for careers. Okay. So this is the company profile. Any question about the company profile?
I have just one. I'm sorry. I have just one
please.
question. For a chain of hotels, would it be better to have just one company profile or different company profiles?
That's a very good question. At the moment, having into account the number of exhibitors who are already registered, I would suggest you maybe to have the group, because you will be, otherwise it's even more spread, you know. So if, for instance, you can promote the group with, if it's possible for you to promote it with a video, of course you can also compile a couple of videos and have just one. But maybe better not to disperse even more the attention of job seekers, I would say. And if your brand is strong, let's say, much better to work on the brands. And of course, you can say in the company profile the brands you are standing for, the brands you are, the hotels that you are representing. For instance, actually I got into a profile which is working like that. So I'm apologies for colleagues from Martignal. I'm not getting into personal details, but just for you to have an example, this is the view of an exhibitor, okay? As you can see, for instance, this is a group of hotels in Portugal, and they have decided to have a generic presentation where they include more than one hotel. And then they have their contacts, they have the website, and they have a video. And if you go and take a look at their profile, it's something like this. Okay. This will always happen, this message, because you're getting into a content which is on YouTube or on Vimeo, so it's an external content. It has something to do with rights and you know how this is working nowadays. But if you click on show external content, the video will show up, and yeah, so. And you cannot listen, but the lady is saying that she loves Portugal, and I understand her perfectly. Okay, but as you can see, contact data here and so on. Okay, Pasquale, you had a question? No further question, as I suppose, right? At the moment?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Just one more. All the jobs that we're going to post here on the platform are going to remain in the next period active.
The job vacancies, I will show you now how to register a job, okay, so that you have an idea. Okay. I promise not to record anything in this profile, okay. If you go here, and I will show you that it has an expiring date, and that you can edit the date, okay. So you can change the date, okay. So imagine, okay, so these would be the jobs that the company, at the moment, as you can see, the company hasn't registered any job yet, but you want to add a new job. So I clicked on manage my jobs here, okay. You can also click on manage organization jobs, and I will explain you the difference, but the content is the same. So let's click here, then add a new job. And basically, at this stage, unless you have vacancies registered or made available on the EURES portal, I wouldn't, don't see this first part. Go straight to basic information. And you can see that all of the mandatory fields are selected with this red asterisk. So you can add the job title. It's clear here what's the event it will be available for. So this job will only stay available for this event. So even if the job is published in your profile and there is a job seeker who registered for other events and sees this job, they won't be able to apply to that job unless they are registered for this event. Okay, so so if you want to participate in another event in the future and you want to use the same jobs, you will have to have a clone of this job. And it's also not that difficult to do. I will show you. So as you can see here, you have a date of expiry. And by default, once you launch a vacancy, you can see 7th June here. Today is 15th of March, right? So it's you can count about 55 days. I believe this is the number of days after the date when you're launching the vacancy. And by default, the vacancy will be available, visible there by 55 days. Okay, if you want to change this, if for instance you want the vacancy not to be visible anymore after the event, you could change the date here and go backwards and change it. Okay, then very important, the description. And for many of you, usually you place the description either in your own language, which is of course legitimate. It's I wouldn't say it is not legitimate, but this means that you are cutting your possibilities to reach candidates from other countries as well. So we would suggest you to have at least a brief description of the job vacancy in English. Even if you would like that person to have knowledge of your language, if it's not really only for very fluent people in your language, we would advise you to have a description in English as well. You can, for instance, if you have, let's imagine you have a description in Italian and in English. Italiano, and then you can, for instance, do this and be below English. And if you want to give priority to Italian speaking job seekers, eventually you can have the description in Italian first, but try to have some information in English. The other thing that you should be aware of, and again reinforcing what I said before, besides the requirements that you have for the job seekers, it's really important that you also let them know what you have to offer. So here you should have that in mind as well. Because of course, well-known brands will probably attract the attention of many job seekers. This is true. But for smaller companies who are not so well known, probably you even have a different way of taking care of your collaborators. You have something to offer which is more personalized, and this can make the difference for many people. So try to include this information as well. Then here you have the number of positions, and if, for instance, you have a profile where you have more than one vacancy, you can change it here. But please never have this field, and actually it should be mandatory to be filled in. Try never to have this field blank, because this means that when we are accounting for vacant positions, this one, even though you are showing the profile, it's not counting as an opportunity. So try to have that in mind. Then you have the possibility here in the type of position to add some tags to your job. whether it is full-time, you can add more than one. This is important that you know. Whether it is seasonal, let's imagine, and not very much the case for most of your activities, but for instance, if we have customer service here, it could happen that job seekers could work remotely. So you can add some of these tags to your job, and this will make it easier for the job seekers to search on those opportunities they are most looking for. Imagine they want to have a part-time. They will be able to look for this tag, and they will find your opportunities. And this is more important when we start having a bigger number of jobs. So these tags will help people find your job. Then again, the issue about the sector, which is sometimes difficult, workplace country. And for instance, I think the only solution for this particular event, as we told you, we are targeting south of Europe. Of course, eventually we have some companies here who are working with cruises, even cruises navigating in the Mediterranean. And of course, in those cases, we would understand that you would use out of Europe, but in any case, probably there is a country where you depart from, or from where the company is. So I'm not fully sure whether you shouldn't select that country instead of selecting the option outside of the EU. But we understand only in that situation that one or two vacancies can show up like that. Then education level, as you can see here, the field, you can add more than one fields of education. And very important, the language skills as well. If you're looking for someone who speaks fluent, let's be Bulgarian, for instance, or fluent German, which is the case in many of your companies, because we have lots of German clients. Yes, we add the language there. We want someone who speaks very good German, and we can add this language skill. Oops, I will remove, okay. But you can add more, okay. This is a fake job, so no problem. And you could eventually add more languages, okay. And also the ESCO skills. Let's imagine I want someone who knows Zumba. Actually, I didn't choose the right option because it's still not available. But for instance, something related to hotels, hotel operations, hotel security. You can start writing Photoshop, I could see there, because we also have jobs for photographers. Okay, we can add some skills here, and we can add as many as we like, as you can see. To help job seekers find by keywords our jobs as well. And then occupation fields, we should also select from a list which is sometimes not very easy to understand, but if you have doubts, talk to your EURES advisor. He will be able to help you find. For instance, it's not going that well, but you having a few searches that you can do. You also have a field here which may be important. As you probably guess, and for those of you who may have registered already jobs, you may be having some applications or a lot of applications from third country nationals. And I'm not referring to Ukrainian citizens, who are now in most of our countries, of course, free to apply. And of course, even third country nationals, they can apply to our jobs. The only thing we have to bear in mind is that for most of you, they will probably need to have a visa to work in your country due to due to my immigration procedures in your own country. So for instance, if this is the case, and if you want to make it clearer, you can use this field. Are there any restrictions that may apply to this job offer? If yes, you will be able to add the information here. And the only reason why there is a specific field is to make it more visible as well. So, and then of course you can, if you don't want to be very exhaustive in the profile, you can as well add a link to a place where job seekers can find more information about your profile. But bear in mind that anything that deviates them from the platform, it's not so nice. But you see, you can have options here either to add links to other places or to add a file with a template with more details on your job offer. Here on the how to apply, it's also important that you know what's happening here. So basically, you have 3 ways that a job seeker can use to apply to your jobs. The most basic way is, for instance, if you don't want to have doublings of applications or whatever, you can decide only to have the application on this platform and deal with the applications from this event only in this platform. And in this case, you will select application on the platform only. If you want to get the application as well on your email, you select this option and you will be able to add your email here. Okay, so the email to which the job seeker should send his CV or the information that you are asking. Or if you have a form where they should apply, an online form, you can also add the link here. Okay, the website where you would like them to apply. And you can eventually even provide with the specific data for that job vacancy. So this is possible. Okay, it takes a bit longer for me to explain than to do it. This is really very easy. Probably many of you already have the profiles done in some other places, so it's simply a matter of copy pasting. And then, of course, you can play a little bit with the formatting to make some things more visible. So the description, you can use bold, you can use italics, you can use underscore, under script. You can use bullets, you can use hyperlinks to other places. So you have all of the editing possibilities that you can see here. And this would be a job. All of the jobs, if we take a look at the profile for the organization, this one has no vacancies registered yet, but what would happen is that the vacancies would show up listed below the company profile, okay? So whenever the job seeker gets into your company profile, you will have the information here with the vacancies. Then, still, this is your dashboard. So this is the area where you work everything that you need to work on. You can see here that you have a lot of information to help you out with the participation in the event. You have fact sheets on several topics, how to create a company profile. You have video tutorials as well for the exhibitors, where you can understand how to register for an event, for instance, how to schedule interviews, how to create a job offer. You have frequently asked questions, and forget about this link, which is outdated, but you can, as you can see here, you can join chat with the exhibitors on the day, and this is where you will join chat with the exhibitors on the day. Why do you have 2 menus? So you have the menu My Panel, which is specific to you as an exhibitor. You are representing this company, but imagine you have 2 or 3 colleagues recruiting for that company. and for some reason you belong to different departments or to different hotels, for instance, and you are somehow not exactly competing, but you don't really want your colleagues to take a look at the applications that you have. Yeah, so this would be the panel to be used in case you are working for you. In case, if you go here to manage organization jobs, you will see all of the vacancies which have been launched. Either they have been launched by you or by your colleagues, okay? And the only, if you want other colleagues to work with you on a certain job offer, I will show you a detail for a job offer. These are all old job offers. As you can see, after a while, it will say that this job has expired. But you can see if you go to edit this job offer, that on the bottom, you have a possibility. Okay, you can see here, share. If you want someone from your company to work with you on the selection of job seekers for this, of selection of applicants for this job offer, you should have this checkbox clicked, selected. Otherwise, if you don't want your colleagues to go through the applications for this job offer, you should take it off. Okay. So this is something that you may have in mind when registering a job vacancy as well. But let's go further because we have already passed the time that we had. Next step would be, okay, we are getting jobs. Now we want to start taking a look at the applications, and we would like to invite a few of these job seekers for interviews on the day. You can do this here under job applications interviews. Okay. You will have a list of job seekers here. Okay, not regarding this vacancy, but because it's no longer valid, but we could see others. Let's say Citel, for instance. Just as an example, please don't pay attention to names. But for instance, if you go here, dashboard, you can see you have some job applications, some applications down here. You see? So what you can do, you know there are some job seekers who are very insistent. Here you will have the status of the application. And this is the time for the interview set. Let's imagine you were interested in this job seeker. You could invite him for an interview, or if you're not interested, you can decline his application. How do you take a look at his profile? You click on his name, and you can see his profile. Okay, and you can also download his CV because it's uploaded. You can see all of his contacts as well. And it's very easy to take a look at. And if you want to invite him for an interview, you simply need to click here in the invite. And what will happen is that he will be receiving a notification and will be asked to confirm his interest to have an interview with you. And based on the availability that you have shown to have an interview with job seekers, he will select the most suitable slot of time for him. And your agenda of interviews will be updated based on the confirmations that you have from the job seekers. This means that you have to set up the time slots during which you will be available. And you do this here under set interview time slots. You see, so you have here the days during which you can set up interviews. I will do and undo. And as you can see here, you can, in order to edit, you have to click here in edit time slots. And once we have done it, we can select here the slots that we want, and then we need to save. Okay. Once when the event is on site as well, it will be available the possibility for you to select on-site interview as well. Okay. So based on the topics that we have to check, are there any questions regarding these interviews? Are you still there? Some of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so what will happen on the event day? So you have selected this, you have invited some job seekers. You come here and you will have the schedule of the interviews which have been confirmed by job seekers, those you have invited and for which they have confirmed. And you will be able, now you cannot see it, but because we don't have interviews here yet, but you will be able to download the schedule as an Excel file, but you can as well take a look at it here. And in order to join, you will see here the times, right? And basically what you will find here on the day is a button to join a meeting, okay? Which is a Jitsi meeting. We are using this Jitsi platform, which allows you to have interviews with video chat, okay? Audio, video, or only written chat. You can contact with the job seekers like that. And eventually, if there is any issue and for some reason the job seeker is not joining and you have any doubt on what may have happened, you also have the possibility, which I cannot show you right now, but you will also have the possibility to, it's basically working like a Skype, but it's not your own account. So you also have the possibility to copy a link to the meeting and, for instance, send it to him on WhatsApp or on email. So this is possible, but he will have something similar from his end in the platform. So basically, if he logs into the platform on the day, and if he comes to the interviews section, he will have that button to join the meeting, and that's it. Okay. Okay. Next topic would be notification management, and just letting you know, probably it is a nuisance sometimes to get all those notifications that you get, right? Your mailbox is already quite full and you don't need it. Where can you change it? You go here to this profile. You go to profile settings if I'm not wrong. And if I am, I will change quickly. I am. It's the other one. So it's the edit my account. And you can see here in the edit my account that you have a list of events which are notified to you by email, to the email you registered and is associated to your account. So you can come here and simply take out all of the events you don't want to be notified about. Okay, so it's simply doing that and not forget to save in the end. And you can see you have emails about instructions on how to get ready for the interviews on job seekers application. If whenever there is a job seeker application, you will get a notification. You can take it off if you want. Okay. Another interesting functionality that you find here is that There may be job seekers who take a look at your company profile and they like your company, but they don't find the right job vacancy for their profile. And so they will probably show you an interest in talking to you. And they will show up here, their profile will show up here with a small motivation text. So with a small introduction, what we would call a cover letter in paper or by email, an email. But you have a small message from them and access to their profile. Unfortunately, it's still not possible to set up an interview with these job seekers who have spontaneously applied. So this is basically spontaneous applications. It's still not possible to invite them for an interview in the platform. We are working on it. In the future, it will be possible as well. So it will basically be just like you had a vacancy for spontaneous applications, right? But so to make it clear, you can only, in the platform, you can only invite job seekers who have applied to jobs you registered. This is why it's so important for you to register the jobs. Then finally, on the event day, imagine you haven't set up interviews, or you even have 2 people available for the event, and you would like one of the people to be available on the chat for those job seekers who are curious about your company and would like to talk to you a little bit more before applying. So this is the option to join chat with exhibitors, which will basically work as well on Jitsi. And you can find here a small explanation on how it will work. In this option, the join chat with exhibitors, I can go a little bit further, but then I cannot go much further. Otherwise, I would leave this meeting. But they will ask you to allow to use your microphone and the camera at a certain point.
Sorry, Anna. Vera is having a question, I think.
Yes. Okay.
Well, there is a question in the chat. Mm-hmm. Carla Silva is asking whether each company do have to check every profile of the candidate to schedule the interview, or there are filters, for example, for experience, for language.
Yes, I will go.
Yes, many thanks, Vera.
You're welcome.
Thank you for. Is that the question, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to manage my jobs, for instance. Okay, no, not the jobs, job applications, sorry. You will find here several filters, okay? For instance, even though it was a little bit polemic to include this, imagine you had already participated in an event. You can filter by the events where you have participated. You can filter by areas of expertise based on the sector or on the occupation. You can use keywords to select the job seekers. You can use the education field, education level. You can use the country of residence. Imagine, for instance, that you have lots of third country nationals applying. They are nationals from another country. I can give you the example in Portugal, and since the question is raised by someone from Portugal, you would have this situation, which is very normal. You could have even job seekers from our Portuguese-speaking countries, or from India, from Nepal, from whatever, right? And of course, it would be difficult, maybe if they are living in another country, for them to be able to come on such a short notice. You would have to go through the visa procedures. But if he's already living here, this would not have to be a problem. So you can have the filter by country of residence, and you can as well have a filter based on their statement about eligibility to work in the EU. Of course, they sometimes don't understand what we mean by this, but So this might be a little bit, this might fail a little bit, but it was the way that the provider found to overcome the question of not being discriminatory based on nationality. So this is the option that they use. But of course, you can as well do something. You have these filters here, but you also have the possibility to export the list of applicants who have applied to your jobs. And I will just show you how it would show up. And you can see here, we could, it will come as a CSV file, but then if you allow it to be edited, you can see all of the applicants, and you have a list here of the applicants and the possibility to have a list. Well, you don't have that many characteristics of the job seekers on the lists, also probably due to GDPR issues, but you have a link to the job seeker CV, which is staying there for quite a long time. By the way, the CVs are available at least during 3 months after they have registered, okay? Okay. I'm not sure whether this answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Anna.
Okay. And
it's easier to look for candidates.
When you practice,
yes.
And when you put your hands on, you will see it's not that difficult. And then, of course, the first steps may be a bit more confusing, but then you will see that it's not so difficult to work with it. So basically, these are the options that you have in the platform. This event, due to the major number of companies, we are not offering you the possibility to have a presentation, but in other events we will. But as we were saying, you can use the video if you want to. And we will promote during the event. As you can see here, I'm going to the program. Sometimes it should be a little bit more navigable, but in any case, you can see here we will have periods in between the presentations, and of course the information we have is useful, but it may not be. Oh, sorry, I thought I was showing the screen and I'm not. I'm just showing the program so that you can see that we have periods here in between the presentations. We are always inviting them to chat with exhibitors. Go back to Exhibitors, and on the event day, not today because we're not open yet for the event, but on the event day we will have a tab here which is called Chat with Exhibitors, where a list of those who are online, so logged into Jitsi, will show up. So those people who will be online will be available there to be contacted. And as well, if the job seekers go to your profile, if they go, for instance, let's imagine to Airel-Gordes-la-Bastide, at the bottom of the screen, you will find in principle 2 buttons, actually. One, if the company is online, chat with exhibitor. So they will also be able to get access to the chat already in the company page, in the company profile. The other option is to show an interest in the company. If by any chance the job seeker doesn't find a profile which matches his expectations and his own profile. So he can do that in the company page. Okay. And I think this would be it on the what you can do from the platform. And of course, my last point in terms of the platform, and of course we didn't go that much into depth, but But if you have any questions, my colleagues are there as well to help you out in the next few days. Of course, it's very important for us. After the event, you will be getting a survey, a small survey in terms of satisfaction regarding the event. And most likely 2-3 months after the event, we will also be sending you an email or a survey asking you whether you have been able to find candidates you have hired during the event. And this is really important for us, and you know by experience probably that this is not very motivating for you to answer a survey, but this is the only reward we have. If we don't have feedback from you on what's happening with the event, of course, it's less interesting for us to organize events as well. So we would really like to have your feedback on how it went, how we can improve, and ideally, if you have managed to find profiles for your needs. And this is about the platform. And I would now leave it if you have any questions. Remaining questions about the way that it's working, please. This is maybe the time to have them. Pasquale.
Yeah, just one question. To ask further questions, do you prefer we email you? Do you prefer we use the contact on the website?
It's better that you email the account you have as a contact. Well, in Italy, you have colleagues in Italy which can help you directly. So if you have a contact already with colleagues from Italy, that's the best way. Okay.
But Mr. Pasquale, we are writing to all our company registered. Each colleague from one colleague from Emilia Romagna are writing to you, give you and other company from the other region the necessary support.
Oh, perfect. So can we schedule a further video calls with some representatives? Okay.
Exactly. So we have colleagues in each country out of these 9 countries who are helping you out directly. In any case, should there be a little bit more technical question, and colleagues already know that, if they find more troubles finding the solution for something, of course, they can get back to me, but you can as well use this. Unfortunately, it's still a Gmail account, but not the best option, but it's what we have. It's eures.seizethesummer at gmail.com, and it's on the chat. Okay. And why we are, of course, you can use the help desk, and in well, this is the email we are having on the website for the event. Of course, you also have a contact form, and in that case, you have a more generic account. But of course, our colleagues will also refer the questions to us if it is not a very technical question, and if it is us to answer. So don't worry, it will reach the right person for sure. Okay. Just of course, please try not to leave the questions for the very last minute before the event. This is something which, as we know, I would not like to generalize, but in our countries here in the south, we have a certain tendency to leave everything for the very last minute. At least in Portugal, it happens quite a lot. And of course, then it's more difficult for us to deal with the issues. So if you can anticipate a little, it's much better for everyone. And mostly the jobs launching, okay? That's the most important part of it. Okay, are there any further questions? I can see we still have a number of participants here.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Pasquale. Bye-bye, and good luck for the event. Ciao. That's what I can say in Italian. So as for all the other participants, if there are any questions, I can stay here still for 5 minutes, but feel free. Et même si vous voulez poser des questions en français ou en italiano ou en espagnol or in Greek or in Slovenian, Portuguese, by the way, yeah. we are here to answer. But I suppose you're very quiet. So, well, if most important thing, if the questions arise in the next few days, and I can see there are quite a few participants from Portugal, I've given you that email, which is a bit more generic, which is for the whole organization. But for Portugal, we also have our own email. So if besides, of course, the colleagues who are in contact with you, which is the most important contact, but you also can use this email. So and of course you can also try to call us on the phone. But since nowadays all of us are very, very busy, so we are usually working out of time, well, not in the office hours. So it would be easier if you would send us the question by email, and eventually, if there is a need, we can reach you, and eventually even have a short video chat if you want. Shefi, I'm not sure I'm spelling your name correctly, but merci bien. J'espère que tout a été clair. Et s'il y a des questions, vous aurez aussi de l'aide par les collègues de France qui parlent beaucoup mieux français que moi. Okay. Merci. Okay. So I would probably stop the recording.